Hey, everybody. I'm so excited to be with you today because I have one of our amazing, awesome clients, Heather, with me. Say hello, Heather.
Hi, everybody.
One of the things that struck me about working with Heather is you can be incredibly good at what you do and have years and years of experience, but still need help with your back end. And that doesn't mean that you're not competent. It doesn't mean you're not capable. It doesn't mean that you can't do this business ownership thing. It just means that you know where your strengths are and you know and you are smart enough to hire some people to help you to do things faster. So Heather is a brand and marketing strategist. Like I said, she has how many years of experience, Heather?
Over 15 now.
That's what I thought.
Can't believe I'm old enough.
No, not a newbie for sure. When she came to us, she was preparing to leave her full-time corporate job to launch this business and step fully into that full-time. So I'm excited to have her. So welcome, Heather. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you, who you are, what you do, where you are?
Yeah. Well, again, I'm Heather. It's so nice to be here and chat with you guys. I am from the Minneapolis area in Minnesota. As Cassie mentioned, I just actually transitioned out of my corporate career. I was in brand and marketing for the last 15 years. And kind of the inspiration for my business now was I had run a side hustle in the dog goods space for the last 5 years and quickly realized that, wow, when you don't have a story to communicate, it is really hard to sustain business ownership. And I had kind of just gone with the wind on it a little bit and not used my training and expertise. And I quickly realized and met other founders who were struggling in their marketing for this exact reason. They weren't sure what they should be communicating and how, and felt like they were just starting over every single day. And that's just really exhausting. And so I would help them and they'd have quick little wins. And I'm like, there's an interesting opportunity here. Maybe I could blend my corporate skills and this experience I had running my own business and create something to help other founders just get out of that directionless, exhausting marketing game that you have to play and into a clearer story rooted in your own values and in the way you speak, as well as the way your audience speaks, and just have more ease and flow in their day-to-day marketing efforts. So that's what inspired my business, Brightcraft Studios. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to be here and be able to bring this to life.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think one of the things I love about what you are saying is you're talking about not starting from scratch every time. And that's why I love systems so much, is because it is exhausting. You're right. Like when you start from scratch, every single time you go to send something to a client or create a proposal or an invoice, like it is exhausting. So
Yep.
Sometimes people, and maybe you feel the same way with marketing, people are like, wait, you're so good at that. And you're a genius. And sometimes I'm like, I'm not really that much of a genius. I just don't want to start over. Like I found the hack. You know what I mean?
100%. You can, there's a system to marketing too. Like there really is, and there's a flow and there's a foundation you can use that just makes your life a whole lot easier because you have 20 other jobs on top of being a full-time marketer. That
Right.
Can't be. You cannot manage all that. So how do you make it work a little bit better for you?
Yeah, that's awesome. And so true with so many of our clients. I think some of the people that are in my community and in my audience are still solopreneur, but a lot of them have kind of up leveled to the point where they're bringing on staff and people to help them manage these things. So it's even more important to have systems and templates in place for marketing and client journey and all of that, because
Right.
You can't really delegate something to someone. Well, you can, but it won't go as smoothly if you don't have that backbone, right? So
Yeah, absolutely.
well, tell me, what was your goal when you first reached out to me?
Yeah. So as you mentioned in the beginning, systems are not really my area, my strength area. And I tried to do a little bit on my own and very quickly realized that I was going to become impatient and annoyed with myself by trying to try to basically do this on my own. And so that was really what I was hoping for, is just to take some of that burden. I was already trying to learn so many things as a new business owner at that time. And so it just felt daunting to try to add another thing to that list. And so that was really what I was looking for, was somebody who could jump in and help me navigate this system and also help me learn it on my own, because I knew I had to use it on my own in the future. So was just looking for one less thing on my list of things to learn by myself.
I just, for this past quarter, I think that's so wise because sometimes, again, especially if you're a solopreneur, you're trying to do all the things all the time and it's just not realistic. And most of us are very motivated people. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this, right?
100%. Yeah.
Totally different kind of hard to own a business rather than be an employee. And so I think it is so smart to pay attention to how many projects are you giving yourself at a time. That is something I've had to learn the hard way because again, when you're high capacity, you can fool yourself into thinking I can do all this stuff all the time.
Yeah, easily.
Yes. But then you get exhausted or burnt out, and that's not great for anybody, not the people that you want to help and not yourself or your family or your community. So yeah, so smart. What results would you say you've experienced now that we're kind of on the other side of things? A little bit. We're still doing a little bit more for it.
No, it's good. I signed up for more because I was like, okay, this is great. Now I'm ready. I want more. And I think that's an example of the result because I feel a lot more confident, especially as I'm booking clients for the first time as a business owner in this way. And I don't have to question, like, is my system, does it look good enough? Is it set up right? Is this like communicating the value I need it to communicate to the client? And are they having a good experience? Like, I just know they're going to because it was set up by somebody who understands how this works. And I think too, like I was able to rethink my own process and workflow because you saw things that I didn't see as somebody who's done systems and workflows and things for a long time and understands that and knows how to run a business too. It kind of opened my eyes to my own process and seeing how different things could work. So I just feel a lot more comfortable, at ease, and it's truly one thing I don't have to think about, which allows me to spend time on. I love marketing so like I'm so passionate about it. And so I get to spend more time there. And that's what my clients want me to do and not fumble around in the background because my system is broken or something.
Yes, totally. I love that. I think even for me as a systems person, I always tell people like, don't beat yourself up because anytime you learn a new tool, there's a learning curve. Like you have to get up and over the hump and then it will run and hum in the background. But I mean, I also, when I first started using Honeybook, I was like literally sitting here at my desk, like, oh, I can't do the thing that I know it should do, you know?
Yes.
So yeah, I think it's, just well done to identify that. And I think the other thing you said that a lot of people feel is that you do have the experience to back up what you're doing. You're not a newbie. You just said that like a little while ago before we started recording that you have the experience and you're not going to cheapen your experience. Right. But it is so important that when you do finally have people that are like, yes, I want to work with you, your system supports that and it matches your experience in your industry, right?
100%. So. And from a marketing standpoint too, like that is so key. That customer experience is almost basically what holds up your marketing. Because if you can have great marketing, but if your back end, your workflows, your systems are not meeting that level of customer experience, it doesn't matter. Yes,
that's so good. I love that. I actually went to the Honeybook. They had a partner summit in 2023, I think it was, and they had some stats for us. And one of them was that your process, I think it was like 86% of people said that the process mattered just as much as the product, like whatever they were buying, right?
100%.
So it really does matter. So that's cool. So tell me a little bit about, I mean, you kind of mentioned this already, but was there anything else before you hired us that you were nervous about or kind of thinking about that led you to this decision?
I would say I was probably, I think I was nervous. I was like, am I getting too far ahead of myself by doing this before I actually take on clients? And I had done some beta testing with clients, so I had a process already kind of built and like I had a place to start from. But I think now looking back on that, it was actually nothing to be nervous about because I'm now able to approach my clients more confidently than maybe I would have if I just like let it play out for a bit and then call you in 6 months and say, okay, now I'm panicking because I am not set up the way I need to be. So I think being able to be set up right from the start is helping just me feel more stable and honestly less nervous. I might have been nervous to hire you too soon, but now I'm not really nervous anymore because I feel I have a system to support me and my work. So
yeah, that's awesome. I think that's really, it is like a fine line. I don't know if you're like this, but I'm a recovering perfectionist.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I know, like it was a discipline for me when I started my business to take messy action. But
Yes.
sometimes it is like if we take too much messy action and we don't have that back end ready, it is just a disaster. So that is a fine line to walk. And then
It is.
I think
It is.
it's
It's
good to have
definitely good to take a step, but then also it's like, okay, if you don't take enough steps,
right.
it can cause ripple effects down the road too.
Yes, exactly. So good. Cool. Well, now that you have Honeybook set up, and we just so everyone else has some context, we set up a couple workflows for you for your brand foundations intensive. And now we're going to set up another kind of smaller workflow for your light bulb session, which is like a strategy session, kind of one time where you help people. Why don't you tell people what that is, your light bulb session?
Yeah. So the light bulb session is really built on being able to get into a marketing challenge you're having quickly, kind of, and help you get out of maybe analysis paralysis. Maybe there's something on your website that's like, this is just not working and I need somebody to look at it, or your messaging is feeling a little bit off and you need somebody to look at it, or you're going into the next evolution and you're not really sure which direction to take or how to adjust your story. That's what that session is for, is to just give you some quick recommendations and potential solutions to move you out of that, like, I'm scrambling with what to do, into like, okay, here's the next step I can take to get out of this and into some clarity.
Yeah, that's awesome. So as we kind of move into that next stage, and if you're thinking pre-Honeybook setup to post, tell me 3 things that helped you the most as we were going through the process.
Yeah, I would say your mapping sessions have been the most eye-opening for me, because it forces you to really think about what you want that experience to be, which is critical because you are trying to provide a good quality experience, and the system that supports you is important in that. And so just, I think that session too, and again, as I mentioned, just having you and your team support on being like, hey, what about this? Or what about this? And I'm like, yes, please, that's brilliant. And I just didn't have the experience to call those things out or to recognize those things. So to have a team to support me in that during those sessions, I think was honestly hugely valuable. So that was one thing. The other thing is I kind of fell in love with Honeybook during the whole process. I feel like I could be a walking ad for Honeybook. They're like, please. But I just being able to see the true capability of the tool in going through this with you, I think really opened my eyes and made it more fun. Whereas in the beginning, I was like, oh, another thing I have to learn. But now I'm like, no, this tool is actually really amazing. Mm-hmm. And I feel confident to be able to learn from it. And then your wrap-up session too was really helpful, because like I said, this is something I need to learn myself. I have to be in here and be able to manage it myself right now. So just having your expertise and walking me through what everything means, having resources to refer back to understand what it all means. I'm not left on an island to like go figure it out. And I think some providers that happens and you're like, well, I don't know what to do now. And so I just felt very supported during the whole thing. So
yeah, yay. I'm so glad. That's like, yeah, it was so great to work with you because you were so responsive. I think I might have told you this, or it was maybe our other client, but we had 2 clients in a row who were in their full-time jobs and still working, like had hired us. And I feel like the 2 of you were the most responsive of like, even like our clients who like do their business full time, which I kind of get, especially if you're trying to get out of your daytime job. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're like a little more motivated possibly.
It's exciting. It's new. It's like, yay. I'm like seeing the evolution of my hard work and like the thing that's going to take me out of this career and into a new career. So,
right. So, but yeah, so, but I mean, everything you're saying is what we hope for every single client. So thank you. I'm really glad that was helpful. What would you tell someone who's on the fence for hiring us to set up Honeybook for them?
Yeah, I would say if you don't want to drown, this is going to sound funny. If you don't want to drown 6 months from now, setting it up, it's being able to set it up sooner rather than later is going to benefit you in the long run. Because I'm just going to say, I now feel, I don't think I would have been as confident with going out to clients and being prepared to book them in the way that I'm hoping to book them had I had a messy system. And I think Cassie and her team really helped recognize that and get me to a spot where it's right for me. It feels like me. It feels custom to me. I can still go in and infuse my personality to it. It doesn't feel robotic or anything. Like sometimes with automations, you can get this like, and I had this too, get this like hang up of like, I still want it to feel like me. Like that's the whole point of my business, but it really does. And it really reflects my brand beautifully and elevates my brand. And had I waffled on that and waited on that, I wouldn't be able to go out there and have warm leads and these connections already forming, because I feel like I can support them because my system supports me. And so I can support them better.
Yeah. Yay. I'm so glad. I usually tell people this, that I think systems, that's what systems should do, right? They should be a tool that help us. They should not be something that separates us from our people, but it should be a way for us to have more energy to focus on the things that we care about the most. And like you said, really reflect who we are and our values. So that's really awesome.
It's kind of putting off the inevitable too, of like, eventually it's going to become too much. So like, why wait till you're panicked and frazzled? It's not fun. I've been there. I get that too. So
yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if have you heard that joke about the guy who was like on a ship sinking in the ocean, and he like prayed to God to save him, and like God sent like 3 people to help him, and then he was like, no, God will save me, and then he gets to heaven and God's like, I sent 3 people. Like,
right. Where were you? I have seen that before. That's such a good one. Yes, that's so real.
So yeah, that's totally true. Awesome. Well, any last encouragement for other people, just in general? It doesn't have to necessarily be about Honeybook or working with us, but really anything that you've learned as you're like in this stage of launching your business.
Yeah. Gosh, I'm still in the learning phase, to be honest, for sure. But I think having support from other business owners and reaching out to them for help and or to work with them has really just been so foundational for me to be able to get out there and feel more confident. Because like I said, like, yes, I'm a business owner and yes, I'm doing everything, but I am not an expert in everything. And there's a lot of things that I don't know, and you don't know what you don't know when you go into business. So I think forming connections with other business owners, having those relationships, working with other people who are skilled in areas you are not, has done wonders for my own confidence and for my own ability to feel like I can step out and put my work out there more comfortably without feeling like, it's just kind of baked. I haven't fully made this a thing yet. It's like, no, this is real.
Yeah.
And I've worked with these people to make sure it's legit. So
yeah, that's awesome. I definitely agree. I think the community piece is so important. Business ownership, especially now that we do a lot, like most of us can run our businesses virtually, sitting in our house alone. And so it's so important to have community, networking communities, masterminds, like other people that you're talking to just, relate with. I have one client that I helped like probably 2 years ago now, and we still go back and forth on Messenger and laugh about like tax strategies and like, how where's our business now and what's happening. And so it's just so fun to know that, like you said, there are such great people out there. And when you find your people that you can support one another back and forth, it's a game changer. So you don't have water cooler talk at your own house. Maybe
no,
you works at home, maybe.
I mean, I talk with my dogs, so maybe that's
maybe a little bit.
She always listens to me.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, so total side note, but one of the things that I've had to do, this is like literally on my business quarterly review, is to read more fiction books, because I love reading, but I am so busy. And if I don't have something tangible in my hands to do, I will totally just whip out my laptop and start working again. Yeah. So I'm reading this series that's, there's a character who like her dad gave her his business and construction. It's like totally Hallmark anyway, but it's just so fun and gives me that same vibe, just helping each other. They're in a small community and all her friends own businesses and,
I love that. That's very Hallmark, it seems
yes.
like. But
And
those
she
are
like
good.
talks to her pets. She's like single and talks to her dog and her cat. And, it's very cute. Anyway,
I love that.
makes me so happy and can turn off my brain.
Yes, we all need that for sure. It's very easy to get just sucked into doing your work 24/7, especially when you love it too. It's it's like, oh, I could never take a break maybe, which is not a good plan long-term.
Right. Not really. That's awesome. Well, tell us, where can people find you if they'd like to learn more about what you do and who you are?
Yeah. So my website, brightcraftstudios.com. And then I'm also on Instagram, Brightcraft Studios. And then I do post on LinkedIn for founders as well, just sharing some tips and tricks that I've learned over the years in marketing. And my name, I do have a business page, Brightcraft Studios, but my name is Heather Hildebrandt there. I post mostly on my personal page. So that's where you can find me. And I'd love to meet you.
And if you guys do want to see like marketing in action, Heather's Instagram is phenomenal. It's so fun to watch you all the time. Like she put up another reel.
Not always quantity, doesn't matter. That's what I teach is like, you don't have to be chronically online. It's okay.
Yes.
I genuinely love it though. So that I'm working with what works for me.
Yeah.
And I also said, I'm like, if I'm going to run a marketing business, I have to walk the walk as well. So I try to show that in the things I choose and the channels I choose for myself for marketing, and that I don't choose every single one. I just said a website, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I'm not everywhere because I'm a business owner. I'm not an influencer. I can't be everywhere. So
yeah, for sure. That's awesome.
But yeah.
Cool. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for being with us. I'm just going to do a quick recap of some of the things that you touched on. You were talking about how hiring, even before you felt like you were ready, hiring us to set everything up for you, actually built your confidence so that you can now go sell and grow your business and not have anything holding you back. I loved the analogy you said about not waiting 6 months until you're basically in a sinking ship and feeling overwhelmed and just kind of pull the trigger to get it working. And yeah, anything else that you wanted to share before we end?
Oh, no, just thank you for your support. And just, it's awesome to have somebody like you in my corner that just helped me get up to speed and saw gaps that I didn't see myself to make it the best that it could be. So
yeah, awesome. Thank you. It was so fun. You're, again, such a great client, so fun to work with. So excited for you as you continue to grow, and I'm sure we'll stay connected. So
yes, absolutely.
If you guys need help with your marketing, check out Heather. She's amazing. So, all right. Thanks, Heather. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.